Hi everyone, this is Angela, your chai girl and host of the Chaiwala Show. Today's episode is for every newcomers who are thinking of building something big in a new land, which is Canada, and also for every small business owners chasing big dreams with small teams. I am here today with Vivek Sai, an entrepreneur who came here in Canada with a vision and turned it into not only one but two powerful startups, that is Zeroed and Nori X. Vivek's story is all about starting from scratch and building with heart. So stay tuned, guys. So let's start from the beginning. I want to know who you are. Who is Vivek Sai? And I want to know what led you to come to Canada. You started fresh as a student in Canada, leaving a successful corporate career. So why that leap? I'm very interested to know about that.
Thank you for inviting me to the podcast first off. And to begin with, more than I would say a corporate kind of a job, I come from the startup space. I like that analogy.
Wow.
Spent about 7-8 years working in early stage tech startups, working closely with IIT, IIM grads who are building, innovative solutions in different spaces of tech in India.
Right.
Since 2015, I had been into the domain. So if I have to tell you what made me come, look back at it, I feel like it's more like a startup itself. So the route was basically I was building a product back in India,
Wow.
Quitting a well-paid senior executive job in a VC-funded startup, and it was a good experience as such personally to scale something from zero, innovatively think of a concept and build it out, but some learnings of not being able to scale it to the next stage, and there was a point where I need to take a decision of starting afresh. And that's where a friend of mine just pointed me towards Canada, saying you might do good here. Why don't you join me
Wow.
in this place? So that's what led me to move to Canada.
So your friend was your motivator.
Yeah, we could say that, because otherwise I'm not someone. Usually I come across people who have it in a bucket list that
You want to do this, you want to do that at that particular age of your life.
I've come across friends of mine and even batchmates who studied with me. For them, the PR was a goal for 5-6 years. For me, it was okay, let's give it a try and see what happens.
You wanted to explore something new. You wanted to start something from scratch and, coming out of your comfort zone. Because sometimes it's usually a risk, to come out of that comfort zone and start something new. I mean, I wouldn't have done that, but I appreciate that you have done that and you have started everything from scratch. I went through your website, your company named Zeroed. I want to know something more about that. How did you feel building up that company?
Zeroed is basically, in short, a way I wanted to solve a problem which I faced, right? As a newcomer to Canada, I had the same struggles as most of the other people face, especially students. You have to restart your education and learn new things, and parallelly you have to keep yourself afloat financially. And if you have commitments like family, in my case, then you are increasing 2 more slots of weight, right?
Correct.
So it's multitasking, and you have to figure out your career track, you have to plan your financials, you have to plan out your studies so that you don't mess it up completely. So that's when I was looking at the whole the experience of job search and career building in a different angle, because I was someone who had already had 16 plus years of experience.
Wow.
Reaching up to a position of vice president for sales and marketing in a NASPER funded startup.
Wow,
Worked with
amazing.
IIT and IIM grads as founders. So for me, when I was, it was like a eye opener that, I can't make it out here easily. right? So a lot of egos were shattered, personal perceptions that, okay, I got all that I can do and I'll be just picked up like this for a career. So that didn't happen. So when I realized like what are each of the problems which I was facing, then I wanted to look at it in a different way, like how can that be solved for myself? And then that basically evolved into Zeroed. So Zeroed is basically a way a job seeker can stand out of the crowd, right?
Okay.
And at the same time, it helps a hiring manager or a decision maker. It can be even a referrer, right? It doesn't need to be directly a hiring manager. A hiring manager or a referrer to trust a candidate, because you would notice this, like most of the time it's about the work experience which are gathered previously are not valued. We know why. We can't blame the hiring system because they need to validate it, and it's difficult to validate what the work experience is, and there's no infrastructure set to do it, to validate and verify your work experience, validate and verify your past skills, what you've gained. And also what happens is, like when you are in a market where the supply and demand is like there are too many job seekers and less jobs, in an average every hiring manager for a single job post receives 900 to 1200 applications
in a day,
like for a particular job post.
Oh.
Let's say somebody put out a job post of market coordinator in a small medium business.
Okay.
That role will have job post in Indeed and LinkedIn or some other platforms like ZipRecruiter or other, even their own website. When all the resumes get funneled into their application tracking system, we are looking at somewhere around 900 to 1200 applications.
Oh my God,
so
that's
you know the stress, the stress which a hiring team would be going through. Obviously they have application tracking system to filter a bit of it, then there is someone sourcing person who's filtering a little more. So that's the other side of the story. So in this race, even if you or me are like having the most ideal skills, most ideal work experience, most ideal communication or attitudinal skills, it's pretty difficult to reach that last 10. Right? And even if you reach, then the hiring manager has to look up to you and consider that whatever you put as your work experience and skills are valid. Because in today's world where AI can write resumes, a person with zero experience can make his resume look like a 20-year-old guy.
Correct.
Experienced guy.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So it's pretty difficult to bypass that whole ecosystem currently. So Zeroed basically bypasses this. It tries to.
You try to give a verification to the candidate.
Exactly. So this is a platform where a candidate can create a portfolio which has verified skills, verified work experience, and also most importantly, it gives you an opportunity to do an icebreaker introduction with a 1 to 2 minute video. So that portfolio will be accessible to anybody who can look it up, like a hiring manager, a referrer. So within the first 20 minutes, like not 20 minutes, sorry, like less than 10 minutes, the hiring manager can basically know your verified skills, verified work experience, and even look up at your communication skills and attitude by looking at the intro video. So that's basically the product, we can call it. So the larger picture is, it's an initiative. It's the idea is like if it can solve the problem which I went through and can help the community, the other students who are out there who are still trying to figure out things, or even newcomers, then that would be the success for it, rather than any other monetized.
Like I see, like, today's job market in Canada is not going that great. There are many people who are looking for jobs, though they have really good skills and good work experience, but they are still not getting the job that they dreamed for. So your initiative, Zeroed, I like the word like Zeroed, like like starting things from scratch. I feel Maybe that's the meaning, like though you have lost hope or something, I think we can come to Zeroed and give our profile to Zeroed, and Zeroed will actually analyze our profile well and make it look more concise and more presentable so that it would be easy for the hiring managers. Is that the case?
The meaning of it, you mean to say, you're pretty close what you're saying.
Thank God.
But in a military term, usually in military terms, they use, even if you watch some movies or Hollywood movies and stuff, they say like zeroed in, the enemy has been zeroed in. So they're going to fire at him or something like that, right? So zeroed in is like you have the gun with the target mark in it,
right,
where you have the cross, right? You would have seen
right,
it in
right,
a lot of movies and video games. So that's what is zeroed in.
Okay.
So it's either way. For a job seeker, it's you're zeroed in on the right career opportunity, and for a hiring manager, they have zeroed in on the right candidate. So that's zeroed. You're being zeroed.
That's the actual meaning of zero.
Yeah,
nice.
that's the thought behind. But people can take it as the way they perceive it.
Right.
It's good if it gets more meaning to it. It's more an initiative, as I said. I would rather consider it as a open source kind of a solution rather than anything else, because the purpose is larger than money making out of it. Like it's like you are just walking past, walking on a park and for a jog or a walk, and you see a stone on the path, and you know that you will trip on it or your kid will trip on it, so you will definitely remove it. So when you're keeping that in mind, that's basically not just for yourself, but anybody else will walk through that path, right?
Correct.
So that's how my lookout is when I look at Zeroed.
You're making the path easier for job seekers.
If I had been through that pain and I had been through a problem and I somehow managed to survive and get out of it, and I have figured it out, that's like a knowledge or whatever I could gain, right? A method. So I used videos for intros. I used to add verifications like references. So I've just digitalized it, right? And made it into a solution which can bring amplified result for more. So so that's basically and in the end of it, like one of my personal takes is like creating something innovative. Right.
Something presentable, something creative,
like,
so that the hiring managers are not bored looking at so many resumes,
True. That's basically the idea behind it.
So Vivek, what's that one major obstacle you faced when building a tech startup, and how did you overcome it? I'm very curious to know about this.
Oh, great question. So when it comes to startups, considering that since 2015 I've been dwelling in that space, like early stage founding team where the team size is not beyond 10, and the greatest challenge I see is there's nothing as a playbook, right? Because having worked about like 6 years prior to that in multinational companies, one thing I have been aware of is that when you join a multinational company or a corporate, there are standard operating procedures for everything.
Right.
There are structured departments, there are hierarchies, there are roles defined, there are SOPs for every role, there is every procedure is being penned down in a detailed way. That's what is non-existent in a startup, right? There's just a concept or an idea that this is what we are going to build and this is where we have to reach. There's nothing in between. So that's the greatest challenge, because you have a blank book, but that's also the funny part or the fun part, because if you like that kind of a space, then you're trying to put things together with what you have.
Right.
So you are the marketer, you are the salesperson, you are the operations guy, you are the product manager. One day you are going to be the finance guy.
Multitask.
Yeah, you basically will end up doing each and everything. So that's the challenge. That's the greatest challenge, because at one point you have nothing, and that when there is nothing, then you don't even know what's your next milestone. So you have to define your own milestone. You have to pull yourself to the next milestone. So that's the fun part and also the challenging part.
Yeah, because I feel like, when you are passionate about something, nothing can, bring you down. Like even I feel if there are any major obstacles come, like how Zeroed, your initiative is helping all the job seekers, to overcome every obstacle that they will come across, while they are, seeking for new jobs for their target. So similarly, I feel, building a tech startup, like especially a tech startup, and in a new country, where you're not even familiar about everything. So yeah, I mean, looking at you, like I'm damn sure that you're very passionate about what you're doing currently now.
I agree. Thank you for that. I'm passionate about when it comes to the tech space or solving larger problems, because technology is something which can bring amplified outcomes. Right? Say today, if I meet someone even at a coffee shop or some networking event, and that person is in a situation which I was in 1 year back, he's still figuring out. If I have the time and ability, I will share with him in the 10-15 minutes what I did and what he should do, even if that person doesn't ask me. Right? Because that is, I learned it, you take it and you run with it, right? But if that has to happen in an amplified way, then tech is what can do it. It's for every problem. Every problem you see around, if you want to do it in an amplified way, solve it, then tech is what can it do, what can help. Another thing, very interesting, which I wanted to share is that it's like I'm at level 0, I would say, like, when it comes to building products, successful products, right? Because it just at level 0, why is it that level 0 or level -1, I would say, because you are just were able to conceive something and create it as a stack, right? That's not success. That's success is when that can bring outcomes for millions of people. That's scaling. So I'm still learning. I'm learning to go towards the scaling stage, and I think that's going to be a good experience too. And if an occasion comes to catch up again when we are in a position where I can share at that stage, then I would love to share. But at this point, it's about the -1 to 0, I would say, my learning scope.
Right. And also I got to know that you also have one more initiative, that is Nori X. I guess you're working as a head of strategic growth for Nori X. So Nori X is an app. What were the problems that you saw in the D2C world that led you to create this app Nori X and be part of the strategic growth?
So Nori X is a product built by Sustern Inc. We are a Waterloo region-based AI startup, early stage startup. It's a bootstrapped venture by a innovative founder. His name is Arun Srinivasan, and we are a very lean team of 7 people. So what attracted most to jump on board of Sustern was the solution was, like I said again, it's about amplified results, right? So something which can be done in person, like if I was a marketing, I know bits and pieces of e-commerce optimization, having helped one of my friends in their e-commerce channel for the retail business. So there are a lot of pieces to it. There is website management on the e-commerce stack. Then there is marketing which you need to do to build the traffic towards that thing. Your user experience or customer experience within the platform should be rich, and you need to digest that data regularly to optimize the listing and stuff, and give good promotions. It's almost like how you sell in a retail outlet, but you're doing it on a digitalized solution. So there are a lot of people involved. There's SEO, there's marketing, digital marketing, social media, a CRO kind of a person who can optimize with data analysis. So Sustern, what it was trying at the time when I jumped on board was trying to do it digitally, right? With AI tech stack, digest the data of a e-commerce business, especially D2Cs. D2Cs are basically the small businesses, not the Amazon and the Etsy kind of a kind. Any small business who have an online channel with a store online is a D2C, direct to customer.
Right.
So these are small teams, usually like solopreneurs, retail owners, 2 people team, 3 people team, who are trying to create a passionate thing,
Correct.
Probably they are good in making some sweets, so they start a a e-commerce platform for that, or probably they are good in some handcrafted jewelry or something, and they're doing it as a person who's at home taking care of the children and stuff, rather than sacrificing their full-time job or something like that. So this is, they are driving their passion. So these people will usually, these business owners are not aware of all these complexities, and they don't have the leverage of capital to invest in so many things. So that's what inspired me to join, because this Noriex as a product, which is a Shopify app, basically digitalizes all these needs and automates everything.
Okay.
From inventory optimization to automating all your marketing centric things like SEO optimization, content generation, blog writing.
Oh, wow.
So if you're a solopreneur or a small team, then usually what happens is that when you jump into this as a startup, considering that I understand the complexity of startup building, so what happens is there is something, the energy they need to focus on the operations or the product building, customer service, and growth. And the other side, it's about marketing this product, managing the online channels, and amplifying the results to the website. And quite often what happens is this drains their time and energy. 90% of the time and energy in marketing and all this blog writing, and look at the inventory, which inventory is out of stock, which inventory is selling well, how to promote that, which product should get discount. So they kind of lose their energy and focus from their core, focus areas, which is the product and customer service. So Noriex automates these all elements.
Okay.
And it also digests the inventory and the sales data to bring good, decision-making insights.
Okay.
So helps that business owner, a D2C solopreneur or a small team to, put more energy there and leave this to Noriex to be a companion to automate.
So that the small business owners can focus on the primary thing, what they are already good at.
Yes.
And Noriex would be a great tool, to help them progress in their business.
True.
Okay.
That's basically what, in simple way, I could say what Noriex does, and that inspired me to be part of it, because it all matches with my other philosophies of helping, in an amplified way and solving problems with solution.
So like what's your main goal and vision, like for both of these initiatives, because both are purpose driven? Both, I see there's one similarity, that both are purpose driven. Both are actually helping the people, in some way or the other. So what's that main goal, if you would like to share it with us? Like what do you see, after 2 years, where do you see Zeroed, and of course another initiative which is Noriex?
Yeah, it all comes down to that. The statement which I previously shared with you is about amplified outcomes, right? Technology can have amplified outcomes. So if millions of people can have a solution to their problem using Noriex or Zeroed, then that's what would be a kind of a success. That's as simple as that.
Right. So thank you, Vivek, for joining us and sharing your journey, and sharing how anyone can take a risk and build a tech startup. You just need to have that one goal, and you need to be passionate about what you're doing and how you're going to help people with your startup company. So thank you for joining us. I was very, very curious, to know about your initiative, especially, for people who are facing a lot of issues in Canada, like in terms of job and in terms of finding the right career path, and also for people who actually want to start their own business, So again, thank you so much, and
Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys.